Okay, we're back now. So we're going to hit continue. We lost connection, so we're restarting. Hi MJ, welcome back. Okay.
The moment.
So MJ, have you ever had the
Experience.
you don't drink pop?
Nothing
Never
matters
mind.
more.
Never mind. Felic Orcelio looks a little better. His tangled hair is now neatly braided. His wounds are tightly bandaged. And there's some healthy color under the scales of his cheeks. You dealt with the threat and powered the elevator. Well done. I trust you brought the activation rod as well. Remember, every second of hesitation may cost my mistress her life. Idra suddenly cocks her head and drives her nails deep into her shoulder. She then starts to mumbling, the crossroads. There are two paths, both stained with blood, both leading to the accursed eye. They all wear masks so filthy and flimsy they fall at the slightest touch, one hiding a blind man, another a traitor. Tell me more, what paths? I cannot say. One is paved with blind faith, the other had hatred and treachery. Both led to tragedy. You simply have to decide what kind of tragedy you like the most. Who is who? Who do you see behind the mask? The whispers are giggling nastily, but they will not speak the naughty little things. They say that tearing off the mask is your only concern. Everything is clear now. Idera nods tiredly and glances at Felic out of the corner of her eye. The station has enough problems without your sorcery, Psyker. Felic waves Idera off and looks at you expectantly. Keep the key, motherfucker. There is darkness falling in Felic Orcelio's bottomless eyes as he bares his sharp teeth in a defensive snarl. Care to explain yourself, scion of the Von Valancius dynasty? What is the meaning of this? So we learned about the child was unknown whereabouts. We don't know where she was, but she was on the second floor. Everybody that happened to die at the same time, and the leading people of the family are dead. So we're going to go with who is the child mentioned in the documents and reports found on the station. You meddle with something that you should have been left alone. The keeper folds his arms and shakes his head disapprovingly. The child is what the station servants call Lady Cassia, for the commoner's dirty mouth must not sully her name by uttering it. You see, it is not beneficial for all servants to have their vocal organs altered. Some prove to be more useful when they are still able to speak. The madmen I fought were convinced that we were the traitors. Or Felic gives an indifferent shrug. That's why they are insane. Will you really heed the ramblings of retainers who dare to raise their hand against the scions of noble bloodline? Enough. I would not trust you as far as I could throw you, Felic Orcelio. It really is time to end this. Felic squares his shoulders and gestures to his guards. I was hoping to find an ally in you, but now you merely delaying the sorrowful end of your story. Prepare to die.
Brute force it is then. Urge them.
Okay, so he's there. Wonderful. Right there. Here. Here. Actually, put you there.
As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Weapon at the ready.
My ears are ringing.
Anything else? What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Jesus.
The whispers.
Follow my lead.
The witch has fallen. Leave her to rot.
Moving out.
We don't want the trauma, because I don't know how to deal with that. I think it's with the Medicaid kit, but I only have 2. Son of a bitch.
Marching ahead.
We'll save after this, before we fight. Sorry about that, y'all.
Unexpected result.
Oh, shit.
Another battle demands our attention.
To the death.
Follow my lead. Someone else can do this.
They won't expect this. You clearly are outmatched. I won't do that. Count me out. Easy. Let's set this in motion. Great Emerald!
Got him.
Stay vigilant. A
Got
costly
him.
mistake.
Man, why?
I'll do it.
Running gun. I gotta kill him. It's Booze. guy. Dodge. Didn't lucky. Except for her, she's the weakest link.
Endure.
So a psyker is someone who is blessed by the void, by the way, MJ. Someone like that is, can see almost a different type of world. I'm assuming. I don't know much about psychers. They're like telepath. Not exactly a telepath, but damn. Good they have time.
Not the scryer's job.
A tactically sound approach. It will be done. At your beck and call.
One step ahead. I know what to do. Done and done. Not my area of expertise.
Damn.
My faith shields me. God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. As the Emperor commands, I act. Doubt is for the weak. Faith without deeds is worthless. I am his will made manifest. As the Emperor commands is why I was chosen. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, fabricated.
There we go.
Duty prevails. Can I feel cold. What is this foreboding? But of course.
Indeed.
I won't do that.
That is not the Emperor's will.
Oh, there the kids are. I was wondering. I've been looking over here.
Consider that off limits.
Rejoice in battle! Faith without deeds is worthless.
She did always
Damn.
want to be a martyr.
One fewer target.
At least we have one medikit.
I've seen worse battles than
Better
this
off
in my
at the
time.
end than the beginning.
It will be done. At your beck and call, reduced to dust. We are the spearhead of the Imperium.
We're...
A nice little stroll.
There you go.
I'm at your service. I'm not interested. Let's patch you up.
Injuries will not slow me. The Emperor sets my path.
Sometimes you consult the appropriate
Son of a
treaties on
bitch, you
tactical
did nothing and I
imperialism
wasted
and
the
weigh
med
every
kit.
step.
At
Sometimes,
least we
though,
know.
you just fire your biggest cannon and save the day.
Okay. It's the exact same. Oh. Oh, okay.
Light of terror, guide our way.
Venture forth.
Pale figure with unnaturally long limbs covers her face with her hands, which are deformed with talon-like nails. Her deathly pale face is coated with blood that continually streams from her scarlet misted eyes. Her spiny gills, slightly hidden underneath her disheveled hair, twitch nervously at your approach. Only now do you notice the third eye on the young woman's forehead, hidden by the jeweled ornament. And when your eyes meet, you sense an overwhelming soul-smothering power. As the otherworldly creature's gaze slides over you, your entire core shudders in terror. Flashes of past warped nightmares re-emerge from the shadows of your memory and paralyze your will. You gasp in air in terror, drowning under a crushing wave of pain. You cannot catch your breath. Hot tears burn on your cheeks. Why is this happening? Why is it happening to you? Why do you feel so lonely and in such pain? So much pain. Do these feelings even belong to you? Idira emits something between a mean and a drowned-out whimper. Ow, 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 as if my own little pals weren't bad enough. Now this one's banging into my head. Somebody stop her. Heresy. The gentle looks at the tall figure with a strange mixture of anger and sadness. Then she lowers her head and with her white hair, veils her face. Persuasion. Lady Cassie, I'm here to help you. Please calm yourself. Persuasion. 5 experience. Persuasion test succeeded. She wearily shakes her head and lets out a drawn-out sound similar to both a sob and howl of a small wounded animal. What is happening? Was someone calling my name? Are all the betrayers dead already? And you, who are you? I am Pop Tabs Von Flentius. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Unease settles over her features and she nods cautiously. Pardon my manners, Pop Tabs. I did not expect to make such a gracious acquaintance at such a time of great sorrow for our house. What is this? I feel faint. Theobald Orcelio, the heavy-set old man who's been kneeling nearby, erupts into low sobs, his eyes swollen from crying, dart desperately around the room, as though the veil of ignorance has just been ripped away from them. The child, Lady Cassia, where are you, sacred child? Throne preserve. Despite his venerable age, the navigator leaps up and rushes to the young woman's side. Theobald Orcelio, you, the old man shifts, revealing his face to you. It is threaded with jet black veins and his bulging milky eyes bear a striking resemblance to those of a dead fish. A sickly sweet scent assaults your nostrils, as if the old man's flesh is rotting inside his decaying husk. My elves fail me, for they are unable to make out as either enemy or ally. I'm warning you, one wrong move and you'll bring the wrath of Orcelio down upon your head. Watch out, Lord Captain. This one's deranged and is making the whispers shriek like crazy. You might just open that eye of his. Threatening the head of dynasty is a grave offense, esteemed, whoever you are. Places a hand on his weapon. Commerce, I mean you no harm, I came to seek navigator's aid. 6 experience. I'll grant you that you do not look like pirates who are coveting the riches of a wrecked station, or like scoundrels in Felix service. So who are you? Hot Tad's Von Valancius, rogue trader. Another rogue trader in our corner of the galaxy? How interesting. Your kind always makes an appearance in desperate times, ready to cut a deal the benefits of one side alone. Given that you're not far drawn near weapons, your intentions are probably peaceful, so House Aurelia Arcelio now asks a service of you. Save the life of the child in exchange for future cooperation. Do not hurry to answer, think on it. You can make yourself an ally or an enemy of our house today, you decide. You look frightening. Fish eyes look at you with unwavering dignity. You were not supposed to see me, or Felix, or the sacred child. Navigators are highly paid for their loyal service to the Imperium according to his will. No one would dare judge the guise of humanity chosen of the galactic sovereign himself. What service do you ask of me? Hope glimmers in the navigator's milky eyes. Save the sacred child. Child, take her away from this station. I fear I do not have long left. A bluish rivulet trickles down the old man's chin, and he wipes the mutated blood brusquely away with his sleeve. You glimpse strange burns covering his flesh under his clothing. The slightest movement must be causing him unbearable pain. Theodore Silvio. Save the child and deliver her safety to Regent Arianto, acting head of House Silvio in the Kronos Expanse. Rest assured the reward will be worth your effort. I know we came here for a navigator, but after everything we've seen, I've got reservations about this girl. Argentina looks at Cassia, and painful furrow appears on her brow. Such a fragile thing with such a heavy burden upon her shoulders. Theobald. My service to the house is coming to an end. The wounds Felix inflicted on my flesh will never heal. I am dying. Praise the throne, solely enough to see that the child is taken care of. You need help. There's a medicite deck on my ship. No, I am not keeper of the Uric V, and I will perish along with my station. On that note, I have other matters to attend to. I want to know what happened between you and Felix. Felix is my wayward student. He came to Uric V as a Calic youth. I personally mentored him and trusted him with the care of the child. He was like a son to me, but he proved to be just another traitor. He sought to steal our most precious treasure, the heir of our house, our sacred child, to revel in power with others like him, casting our house into abyss, the perfect of centuries-long traditions of our family. You can see the fruits of his villainy for yourself. He said he was not bound by the duties of the legacy of the greatest of our novators, Tisiphone or Celio, who led our house to prosperity for countless years. Foolish boy. The renegades clouded his mind. They sought to seize control of the dynasty before the sacred child had come of age and taken up the novator's throne. Felix accused you of treachery, Theobald. Why should I trust your words? Defending myself before strangers, I never thought I would fall so low. Old man looks at unmoved, and Cassius shakes his head in resignation. If the child's life were not at stake, very well, I have no choice, or proof of my innocence. I can give you my word as a member of Navis Nobilite, and the honest word of a honorable man counts for anything with you. I guarded this station against calamity and incursions from without to the best of my ability. I forced the wardens to strictly observe security protocols. I personally selected every servant and faithfully protected the child during the coup. How could you lose control of your own station? Do not thrust my errors in my face. I'm twice your age and twice as wise. Take my advice. Trust no one but yourself and the Emperor. Even those closest to you betray you for gold, power, or far-fetched idea of a bright future. I believe I have made my decision. Is that so? Please share your thoughts. Cassius shall come with me. Good, that's good. The old man never selects his lips, but do not allow us to say proper farewells.
Wake up, my mistress, my sacred child. It is all over now. It is over.
What happened? You. I remember you. Have you come to save us?
Child, please, listen to me very carefully. One last time. You will now embark on a voyage with this lord to rejoin the house and its regent in the Corollas expanse. I will not be able to accompany you on this journey.
No, not you too. Don't leave me alone in this violet brown haze. You're coming with me. Your mistress is giving you an order. Do you hear me?
Mistress, I fear this will be your only order that I dare to disobey. I am the keeper of Urak 5, and alas, I have less than a day left in me. Allow me to serve you one last time and honor my final duty to House Orselio. I will remain on the station and destroy the secrets it holds.
Oh, Fearbold.
I regret that we had met under such circumstances.
What need have I for your regrets? I just want things to go back to the way they were before. What are you going to do to me?
Lady Cassia, I, Pop Tabs, Valancius, rogue trader of the Imperium Man, offer you my protection and offer you shelter aboard my vessel.
Do not fear what is to come, child. You are ready to guide any vessel. I know this because I taught you myself. And it is difficult to imagine more worthy company than a rogue trader. But remember, your safety is of paramount importance. Get to the Great Regent and fulfill your destiny.
I beg your pardon, but what about my servants? Your Act 5 is still full of people loyal to House Orselio.
You can secure new servants once we're out of here.
You need not worry, child. Your people are ready to die for you at any moment. Be it under a hail of gunfire, or in the ruins of this broken station. And so, it will always be.
As a Lady Navigator of House Orselio, I accept your gracious offer of protection. Please, take me to your vessel. I can no longer bear the pain of this place.
Absolutely. Excuse me. Lord Captain, Navigator, welcome aboard. The Sanctum Navis has been prepared for the communion ritual, but if the Lady Navigator wishes to rest in her quarters first. Your heart starts beating furiously, your breath comes short and choppy, and your fingertips tingle unpleasantly. You notice that Victus is shivering slightly, and the crew are glancing around in puzzlement, searching for the sources of this sudden wave of unease. Without even looking at Master, Cassia waves her away. First, I wish to speak with the rogue trader. Leave us. Oh, of course. When you're ready for the ritual, please let me know. Cassia sweeps her pensive gaze over Dick Victus, then lowering her lashes slightly, turns to you. What did you wish to speak about? Before I begin the ritual, I wish to look once again into the eyes of the man whose fame is so great it managed to penetrate the impregnable walls of Uric 5 long before we ever met. It is truly you, Pop Tabs, the person who the whole expanse and Catalytic sector are talking about, and now a rogue trader as well. After a few seconds hesitation, Cassia lets out a small exhale and then raises her pinpointed chin. I have not yet thanked you for saving me on the station. My thoughts were clouded with so much mournful ash than Theobald's heart stopped, but you acted honorably and did not exploit me in my wretched position. For that I'm immeasurably grateful. But now, Cassia throws her shoulders, I'm ready to go to the Sanctum Navis and perform the sacred rite. I require brushes, canvas, and the best paints you have on board, but no red. Why do you refuse red paint? It is my habit to use blood of my attendants so as to preserve my own. However, given the current circumstances, my own will serve even better. The blood of the Navis Nobilite is sacred, and so is the most suitable for the communion ritual. Tell me about what the ritual entails. I doubt the uninitiated could understand the mysteries of navigation. But I shall explain the essence of it. I must merge my mind and will with the machine spirit of the ship, so I can become one with the vessel. Cassia lifts a lock of hair from her neck, revealing gilded implant ports. After that, I use the House Aurelia ritual, which I'm loath to reveal to you, to my mind of all errant thoughts, and then... Then it is time to open my third eye and peer into the depths of the warp itself. Among the nightmarish visages, and mirages, creatures of the abyss, only the light of the Emperor is the truth that will lead me to star, from system to system. Oh, the light, the guiding thread, so fine it can slip through one's grasp at any moment. Cassia unfurls her hand as she drops something, but you have nothing to worry about. The Navigator's House or Celia never lose their course. I shall ensure that necessary supplies are delivered to the Sanctum Navis. Cassian nods and thanks. I shall take my leave of you for the duration of the rite. I ask you do not follow me. If you can survive the gaze of my warp eye when it is opened. Lord Captain, I will oversee the open channel between the Lady Navigator and the bridge. May the Emperor Light help us all. The Voxcaster in the Sanctum Novice picks up the susurration of clothes, pious chanting, and the metallic clicking of implants. Then the serene voice of the Lady Navigator breaks the silence, initiating communion ritual. You hear the exultant ring of metal freed from the scabbard, then the stiff gasp of the Lady Navigator, the rhythmic drop of liquid on canvas, and the faint whispers of a brush. I see violent vortexes lashing on an ocean with a million flails, and the umber shadows spinning over the surface in a fiery dance. A storm rising above foaming waters. Armadas drowning in the fog. A path from one end to another cannot be seen. And here, beyond the wall of glass, a daughter forsaken by her father yearns for her brother, and the sun's pale dusk goes in tireless pursuit. Of her? No, of me. Its frozen rays lie that spring is here. The light is deadened. The great ruler is gone. Voxmaster Victus. The Voxmaster recoils at Cassius' words and accidentally snaps one of the cogitator levers. The panel beneath her fingers emits sparks and her Voxcaster falls silent. She quickly flips a series of switches and bows guiltedly. My abject apologies for cutting off the broadcast, Lord Captain. I have not ever heard of the warp speaking through a navigator before. The connection is restored now. It will not happen again. Voxmaster, seated will receive 5 lashes for the show clumsiness. Cassie, are you alright in there? Soul-shredding screams drown out the Vox transmission. The servants in the Sanctum Novice are howling, shrieking, and wild beasts, moaning in pain. Their throats raw from the strain. And then suddenly silence. The dull thud of dropping bodies proclaim her fate. It appears the servants were part of the Lady Navigator's rite, as it was her predecessor. I will arrange for the bodies to be removed from the Sanctum Novice after the ritual, or what is left of them. Rogue Trader, I fear I have unfortunate news. Endless blackness has spread across the canvas, dividing what should be whole in two, and my sight cannot glimpse the light of the Emperor as clearly as before. I cannot turn around. My brush only draws me onward. The way is blocked. You hear a heavy exhale of rusting fabric and metallic clicking. By the Emperor's grace, and the ritual was successful. Your vessel's temperament presented a challenge. Its cold, still grip did not allow me to breathe freely, even for a second. It was as if the depths of the ship housed not only a machine spirit, but something other. Now retreat to my chambers to recover my strength. Send for me if you have need of me. Voxmaster Victus. Lord Captain, congratulations on acquiring a navigator. Please spare me a few moments of your time, as there are several matters that require your attention. First of all, I wish to report on your condition to Station Uric 5. Had you opted to begin your visit to the Reichage system with a different destination, the station could have become critically unstable. Unfortunately, this decision was to immediately visit the representatives of the Navis Nobilite bought us precious time. We're going to either focus our efforts on disassembling the station and procuring technology components of our own vessel, or attempt to save as many valuables as we can. Gather components. With your permission, I would like to also remind you that we are still looking for the engineers Seer Prime. Both the vessel and its machine spirits are in desperate need of oversight by an experienced tech priest. We're missing some crew. Much more importantly, we have not located Henrix von Collix, the right hand of the Lord Inquisitor. Now we know for certain he was not on Uric 5. so we should keep in mind when making future plans. Thank you. This will be all for now. As it pleases you, Lord Captain. Okay. Where to now? Should we go to prison? A prison on a planet? Okay. What's this? Artificial. Another station? Lady Navigator's left her quarters and is currently in the wardroom, where uninitiated crew members are shunning her in terror. Perhaps you should find out what has brought Cassia to the deck.
Lord Captain, my apologies. I did not notice your entrance.
It pleases me to see you adjusting to the life aboard the ship.
Compared to Urak 5, your ship is a boundless world of unfamiliar hues. And yet, the abundance of bright colors can at times be wearisome on the eyes. The bridge and the decks are so clamorous. In my search for a place of quiet, I was fortunate to come upon this islet of serenity filled with rare tomes and practically devoid of color.
The events that took place on your 5 must have shaken you greatly. Are you well?
One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orcelio, Lord Captain. Like a shawl of pale smoke, a faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders. But it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you. There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others, and far less devoted to the God Emperor than a herald of the Navis Nobilite. But I did not need your words to see the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near. Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior and your question just now insulting. Your servants are somewhat sluggish when it comes to attending a noblewoman of the Navis Nobilite, but they are quite tolerable. Thank you for your concern. Oh, this.
The book.
I found this fascinating read on one of the shelves, and I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing. Urak 5 had a vast archive of its own, of course. Although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works. Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs, showing an interest in the books I am enjoying. You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I. I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself.
Quite right. So I would ask you mind what... No, I'm not saying that. You have nothing to apologize for. Human emotions are natural, but be they good or bad, it is natural to share them with others.
Please forgive me. I cannot even understand myself right now. Your words and attention have reminded me of life on the station. Of Theobald and Felek. I do not understand. They were merely the keepers of Urak 5. So, Why do memories of those two make me feel a strange heaviness here? At the same time, I find myself overwhelmed with new excitement and anticipation. At last, I have set foot outside my familiar walls and into a world that I have only seen before in the pages of books. Your ship alone is a treasure trove of remarkable artifacts and curiosities. And just imagine the things that await beyond, but... My delight must seem childish to you, surely. In your heart, you must be finding all this
No.
quite amusing.
I'd rather we find amusement elsewhere, perhaps in the privacy of my chambers.
Lord Captain, what do you think you are doing? Saying such a thing to someone with whom you are barely acquainted? It is outrageous. It's obscene. You should better familiarize yourself with some of the works in your library to learn how one ought to behave around a lady.
I don't care, I'm gonna clap those cheeks. What? Permission to report, Lord Captain. Members of a sacred cult operating aboard this ship have requested an audience. They wish to present gifts and introduce themselves to the new captain. What sacred cult? They call themselves the Bloodspun Web. The cult defends the flagship from both internal and external threats. Lady Theodora held them in high regard and looked favor upon their activities. I'm ready to receive them. I'll commence preparations at once, Lord Captain. Okay. Oh shit. Oh. Those on the deck watch in awe as the final figure moves gracefully into a ceremonial pose. Some of the officers whisper in excitement, while the others murmur prayers to the God Emperor.
The Undying Emperor commanded us to spin a web of blood around his children, and we obeyed. we obey still. Domin von Valancius, death has whispered your name.
The woman's
Disown Domin Theodora. We renounce our oath to her. And now we give the gift of our blood to you. It is the gift of death. Death has whispered your name. The followers of the tenets of the web swear fealty to their new overlord and offer proof of their devotion. We give you a blade, the silent verdict. The Undying One has chosen you to wield this instrument of death. We give you one of our own, Kibella. She will be your shield and shadow. And we give you the blood of these traitors. The tenets of the web will purify their souls.
You've heard many stories about the death cults such as this one. These devoted holy assassins of the Imperium have turned death into a form of worship of the Emperor. They are exemplary slayers, invisible executioners, and the scourge of traitors, heretics, and fallen souls. Many righteous people have honored them as votaries of the faith, while others see their fearsome rituals as frenzied spectacle touched by madness. Examine the cultists. The cultists are void-born. Their lithe, sinewy bodies are clad in light armor, which allows them to have acrobatic, nimble grace and strike with an assassin's swift surety. Their red and black vestments are adorned with sharp spikes and ritual jewelry. Where time and training have worn their garments threadbare, you can make out patterns of bleeding lacerations. Examine the captives. The prisoners cower beneath the weight of your gaze. Blood drips down tear-stained faces of the captured officers, technomads, and workers. A word had been carved into each of their foreheads with meticulous precision. Traitor, heretic, apostate, renegade. The codes have been diligently and regularly reopened and prevent killing.
These renegades committed treachery against their domin. Their lips once praised the name of Kunrad Voigtveer, but it is your name they will whisper as they cross over to the other side.
Jesus Christ!
The domin has discerned our essence. This is a great honor for the blood-spun web. We have woven the bays of this ship together with the threads of our faith for many years. Keep the greatest relic, his tarot, through which he sends us his blessed revelations. We obey the whispers of the Undying One. This is our service to him. This is our service to you.
Your heart is filled with awe as you gaze at the cultist. You recognize this feeling. You've experienced it before when you walked through the scorching flame and survived. The eyes of your grim guests burn bright with sacrificial fever. They served the God Emperor with wholehearted faith and devotion. What exactly does a cult like the Bloodspun Web do?
The tenets of the web teach us to read the threads of the future and understand the hearts of others. When a soul is filled with the poison of corruption, we know its time has come. We bring liberation. 3 strikes, 3 rebukes, 1 blade. This is how we serve the Undying One. This is how we serve you and your flagship. But there are others, the virtuous martyrs who contravene his design without realizing it. Those who have come too close to faltering or committing an apostasy, but have not erred yet. We present such souls to the Undying One,
You kill innocent people?
We do not desire their death. We do not seek them out in the darkness. They come to us, and we usher them from this life. If his sacred tarot reveals that the Emperor wishes to accept these martyrs.
You mentioned the tenets of the web. What are they?
Our laws and teachings, our philosophy and way of life, our art of combat and spiritual dogma. The tenets are the blood-spun web itself. Humanity owes its existence to the undying Emperor's sacrifice. It is he who protects us from a darkness of terrors. Hence, each of us has a duty to serve him, and a duty to die for him. To act otherwise is to waste the life that has been given to us by the Undying One, to become a thief. We help others understand this. We help them to live and die righteously.
Instead of helping those who may soon stumble, you offer them death?
We follow his design. We claim those marked by his omens. We submit to his will. How could it be otherwise? Would you cast down your enemy's feet in the battle? How can we be an instrument of the Undying One's will if you forbid us from serving you through the tenets? As the tenets ordain, as honor demands.
Basically, I just said that, I forgot. Oh, I said, basically, I was going to say, I'll use you as my sword.
I am the
Tell me about yourself.
spinner of the blood-spun web. The honor of this title is bestowed only upon those who have ushered more souls than... It is shameful to speak of one's own deeds. I'm here to become your shadow, not to make boasts.
Not toward the captives. Why have you brought this rabble to upper decks?
So you may offer the souls of these traitors as a gift to him. You have the authority to perform execution. Their blood will bind us together through him. For the God Emperor, the Undying One, is death itself. The Undying One is duty itself. Give the order, Domin. Let a spinner of the blood-spun web undergo the test of a sacred trial.
Give weapons to the traitors. It's time for Cabela to prove herself. Hell yeah.
A dagger that has not sliced through sinew is nothing more than a toy. Let the final dance begin.
Your Emperor won't save you!
Welcome his
Oh,
embrace.
I fight it.
Come to chaos!
Cabela has a remarkable background. As a death cult assassin, she can use a special ability called Raining Blood. When used, it causes the targets of Cabela's next melee attack to explode in a burst of blood, covering the floor and enemies behind the target. The affected enemies suffer additional damage. Cabela can also use a special throwable consumable called Blood Vial to spill even more blood on the battlefield. Cabela is a blade dancer. Blade dancers are incredibly skilled sword fighters who can devastate enemies using two special attacks, Blade Dance and Death from Above. The Blade Dance ability allows the Blade Dancer to make several light strikes against random adjacent targets. If there is only one adjacent target, all strikes are directed against that target. If two swords are equipped, the Blade Dancer deals significantly more strikes. Death from Above. allows the Blade Dancer to swiftly leap to a selected cell and upon landing deal damage to all adjacent targets. This ability can be used multiple times per turn, but each use requires a charge to be spent. The Blade Dancer gains charges by killing their enemies. The Blade Dancer's main characteristics are weapon skill, agility, and strength. Weapon skill enhances their melee attacks and defense in close combat. Agility increases their dodge chance and makes their abilities more efficient. For example, increase the number of strikes made with Blade Dance. Strength increases their damage dealt with swords. Note, most of Blade Dancer abilities can only be used with a sword equipped. Some abilities available through progression cost wounds instead of AP. Okay.
No. I cannot serve you in this way. Trust me. This goes against the tenets. As the tenets demand. Caught by the wind. Come, the other side awaits. Trust me. Brings me no pleasure. The shadow's
Damn.
death is a blessing.
XP, please.
I will set them free, as honor ordains. Foe or 100, I will kill them all. Trust me. I would that I could. No.
No, my bad.
I shall not fail. The other side awaits.
A cut to the heart, a cut to the throat, a cut to the stomach. These wounds have inflicted according to his pleasure. The blood of the apostates will wash away the stain of his treachery, so their souls may procreate themselves before the undying one's throne and beg his forgiveness. Gibala wipes the blood from her blade in one swift movement. I have acted with reverence and shown proof of my loyalty. Will you accept me, Daman? Will you make me your shield and shadow? Hi, Factum Generous Danrock, your lordship. The spinners of the Bloodspin web were watching, tracking, and killing Von Vedacious enemies, but long before the warrant of trade passed the Lady Theodora. However, their blade has also been known to cut short the lives of highly upstanding persons. The Factum swallows nervously, casting a fleeting glance at Cabela. But I certainly do not want him to condemn the deeds of the deeply esteemed cult. I'm sure they must have good reason. Jocasta Sourback, the master at arms, cleaves your throat. The cultists are the scourge of the seditious. They bring the unrighteous to ruin. The enforcers respect the blood-spun web, for we share a common goal, to bring his light and his harsh justice to the darkest depths of the ship. Inrek Montag, this is the fire guy. Scourge of the seditious or not, folk are afraid of them for a reason. A couple of watches ago, these spinners took a train driver to pieces for some kind of ritual. I don't know what old Malik did to earn their privilege, though. And who's going to feed his family now? Enric takes the dragon out of his EO stick, exhaling the thick smoke through his clenched teeth. But that's a lower deck problem. What matters is that the bloodspin web serves you faithfully, Lord Captain. Well. Confessor Adalbert, plump old man in the rich robes of a confessor, adds respectfully, my predecessor's predecessor once delivered a sermon about how the spinner saved his vessel from the servants of the archenemy, the blood-spun web paid. The blood-spun web paid the price in blood. A river of scarlet that flooded the decks from bridge to bilge. Bilge? They became the blood of the flagship, the pulse in its veins, and the beat of its heart. Their great sacrifice earned them the favor of House friend Valachius. Seems not. Oh, I hit twice. The vessel was best set by famine and pestilence during a long ship warp. The flagship wandered uncharted paths in immaterium for 20 cycles straight. Servants of the archenemy used the sparing hearts of the crew to infiltrate the ship. The death followed. The hungry became hunted. The famished became a feast. I wish to hear what my retinue thinks. I have heard, though only at a distance, the prayers the spinners offer up to him. I have only seen how their deeds fill the people's hearts with confidence and inevitability, of his wrath. The blood-spun web's loyalty to the Emperor is without question, as their willingness to lay down their lives in the fight against the archenemy. Although Lady Theodora never granted the cult an audience or brought a spinner to her retinue, she respected the blood-spun web and approved of its mission. It is strange. Their shadowy forms are swathed in darkness, yet a radiant light burns within them like a scarlet flame. I think it is like a good sign. It is rare to see anyone filled with such light, even among the servants of the faith. You will be my shadow. You will be my shadow, Cabela. Cabela's movements are slow, almost rhythmic, as she removes her ceremonial mask. The dark shadows of her eyes actuate the deathly pallor of her skin, which is covered in ritual scars. Henceforth I am your shadow, Dalman. I am an instrument of death placed in your hand by the Undying One, for so is ordained, and so is Tarot forspoke. The young woman bows her head once more. I also come bearing an invitation from the vizier of the bloodspin web. He wishes you to know that the doors of Undying One's temple are open to you. Are you suggesting the Lord Captain should go down into the depths of this flagship to search for this temple? With all due respect, lower decks are for servants and crew. They're not fitting for his lordship. Forspoke? What do you mean? What tarot? The greatest, most sacred relic of the bloodspun web, the Emperor's tarot. Only his chosen servants may earn the permission to rain blood upon the cards and perform a reading to see portents of the future, shadows of the past, or tangles of the present. However, the secrets of his tarot are not for the ears of lay people to hear. I cannot tell you more. Not here, not now. Who's the vizier? He's the first among us. The vizier was spun the web of faith for fivefold longer than I have lived. Blood of the flagship's blood, my mentor and teacher. Why is the vizier not here to deliver the message himself? First spinner is old. His abode's in the temple beneath the flagship's freight line. He has not left the lower decks in decades. Even a short journey could sunder the spirit from his ancient body. Where is your temple located? I'm not permitted to say. If you wish to find the temple, you must walk the path of Saint Rain, the matriarch spider. Hers was the thread that would become the bloodspin web. Her path began deep within the flagship in the dark tunnels of the freight line, and that is where yours must begin as well. This journey will bring you closer to the thread of web, closer to the Undying One, closer to the understanding of death. I do not see the point of these riddles. Your temple is part of my flagship. What does it stop me from simply walking inside. I will walk the footsteps of the matriarch spider. There we go. Your journey will begin in the darkness of the deepest tunnels. The Vizier awaits you. The cultists retreat in the shadows of Kabbalah, sheathed beneath a ceremonial dagger. Your blade awaits direction, Dalman. We will speak again when the time is right. Okay, the rogue trader ship is Veritability City sailing through the void. The ship has numerous compartments that you can visit. Navigate these compartments using the map of the ship, which you access from the main elevator, on the bridge, or from any compartment. Okay, on that note, I gotta take a small bathroom break and smoke outside. So you all just enjoy the music, the visual, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. I had to smoke. Don't like smoking indoors every time. But we make time. Oh, do we make time? Okay, so we're not going to investigate that thing just yet. We got more characters to unlock. Alright, the astropathic station is dead and dead ahead of a void chip. It is motionless. There is lifeless silence across its lock frequencies. Its lights are out. Even those who have no warp sensitive can feel the presence of death. It is here, lurking in the shadows. All this makes the readings reports of the ship's astropaths who claim to be hearing an incessant ghostly howl emitting from the station all the more disturbing. Contact the station by Vox. Damn right. The station is not responding. Perhaps there is no one left who could respond. Deploy a scouting team. The enforcers offered their prayers and proceeded to enter Uncanny Station. What they saw inside was monstrous. Astropaths upon their thrones, not quite here, but not quite now, smudged as if they were across time. Servants reliving their horrible deaths again and again, only to be reborn out of ashes and blood into more agony a moment later. The warp manifested itself here, twisting the very nature of existence. The main hall was covered in a crust of psychic ice. A green-robed, blind old man sat motionlessly upon a tall throne. He was quite literally embedded in the ice, yet he was still alive and screaming. Lord, warp 100%. Send Zachary Wees at the station with a squad of bodyguards. Okay. Choir Master Wees boarded the station in person and proceeded in the choir's hall. He stood silently for hours in front of the man frozen in ice and held a telepathic conversation with him. Seven experience. Then Master Wees offered a prayer to the God Emperor, and the unfortunate man passed away. Upon returning to the ship, Wees reverently presented the Lord Captain with a grim trophy, the late Choir Master's amulet, taken from his frozen body after his death. Denial of nightmares. Okay. The psychic shriek carrying across the Immaterium has silenced, but this has only brought the crew to no relief. A chilling realization came to the astropaths when they discovered that the cry was making a different sound, even more terrifying and surreal. It was the melody of a cataclysm born before a warp storm of titanic power, so intense that the entire expanse must be able to hear it. It muffles astropathic messages and crawls into Psyker's mind, evoking everywhere the same image, a dark, gaping, beastly mouth cleaving the universe in two. Now that the mad choir master has finally stopped screaming, the song of the Immatorium has reached the Grove Trader's void ship too. Order the station to be explored, burn everything, steal the station, dooming its ghostly inhabitants to eternity of suffering. Order the station to be searched. A brief and chilling chronicle of the station's doom was found in the scribes' records. A warp disturbance of the monstrous proportions wiped out half of the choir at once, turning the astropaths into living portals through which torrents of the Immatorium's energies poured out. These who lasted longer bellowed and hollowed about a black rift that split the universe into before and after in a darkness that would devour the Astromonacon's light. Burn everything. 35 experience, alright. Void torpedoes shatter the fragile station. One can only hope that the unfortunate souls captured by the warp have perished along with their home. Okay. Right, Kid Morris. Lord Captain, sorry to disturb you. Oh, another interruption. Vigdis pauses as if listening to something. It's pandemonium outside the bridge gate. One of the officers seemed to be demanding an audience with you in person. I think I hear Master Worson's voice. In any case, I wanted to warn you in advance. Hot tab. One second. Need to find something. One second, and I'll get started. Sorry. There it is. Abelard. The everyday sounds of the bridge are disrupted by voices raising in anger. Abelard's voice, the loudest of all. This is not the conduct of an officer. These are the antics of highborn brat out of the lark. Explain yourself, Lieutenant. A really event. The young woman standing before Abelard strives with all her might not to quail under the onslaught of her superior's anger. She falters, but then manages to look him in the eye and say, I apologize, sir, but I must speak to the Lord Captain. Very well, Lieutenant. You may address the Lord Captain, but not least because I see you already seem fit to disturb him. Your unauthorized appearance on the bridge displays the belligerence toward a high-ranking officer will be logged on your personal file without delay. Lord Captain, Lieutenant Avelia Vent requesting permission to speak. Vent falls silent and then adds rashly, on a matter of extreme importance and urgency. You may speak, but I want to hear a report, not a shouting match. Having two officers bickering on the full view of the bridge is unacceptable. I'm sorry, Lord Captain. I thought the drastic times called for drastic measures. Hotly. This matter cannot wait. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched to the lower decks on orders to crush the Mercury's strike by any means necessary. But I'm convinced this step is unwarranted and this crisis itself was provoked by the actions of one of the senior officers. Vin is almost trembling with tension as she delivers her speech, her face extremely pale. Abelard, no hurry to intervene, lets out a skeptical huff. He glances at, oh, you son of a bitch cat. Sourback, who's standing not far from him, but she maintains a stunning expression. Okay. Lord Captain, I urge you. Oh, okay, didn't get in those. Lord Captain, I urge you to investigate the actions of Sensual Warrison. I want to interview what's happening on the lower decks, because very soon we'll have a mutiny or a massacre on our hands. Vent reels off the last words as she knows them by heart. She is clearly prepared to say them for some time. When she is finished, she casts an anxious glance at Abelard and then at you. There's an insurrection. Damn it, cat. Come here, baby. Come here. The cat has decided to control the stream right now. Hello, baby. Anytime now. There you go. Gonna sleep next to the monitor? Yeah. That's my boy. Stay close. There's an insurrection in making him aboard my ship and no one has informed me. I would not deem it a problem worthy of the rogue trader's attention. The lower decks, as it so happens, are in a revolt. 30-some years ago, we had a revolutionary leader rise up who dared to establish workers' rule across the entire ship. It took a month to restore order, but even 8 years later, we're still battling rumors that the hero had survived execution and was on the verge of gathering people to fight against tyranny once more. Abelard scuffs. Needless to say, the rumors were baseless, and as for the current situation, we have a sufficient enforcer to deal with it. But on this ship, the word of the Lord Captain carries more weight than a salvo from 100 bolters. I'm sure that if the rogue trader addresses the malcontents directly, he will quell the unrest. I dread to think what your problem you will disturb the rogue trader with next. Perhaps you will ask the Lord Captain to break up with brawls in the mess room. I've already given you the means to resolve this problem. You simply need to use them. If I may, your lordship, sending a hit squad to crush the rebellion is a means of ignoring the problem, not solving it. How did it all start? The situation could boil over at any minute, so I'll give you the condensed version. It all began when the enforcers found a cultist amia on the body of someone who'd been killed in a drunken brawl. He reported up the chain immediately. What are you doing? Sorry, gotta take medicine. Arranged for cleaning right, but before... Okay. Who'd been killed in a drunken brawl. He reported the chain immediately, arranged for a cleansing rite to be performed, and opened an investigation. No heretic had been found alive, but the search has begun. Tensions between enforcers and the workers to be had. We're just central Rosarian coming to all this. I shall explain, Abelard intones grimly. I beg you to hurry, time is running out. I will not hurry, since my competence is under scrutiny. I shall speak for as long as I see fit. There's established order to the way things are done on the ship, and one of the pillars of the system is that the rogue trader's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It is essential's role to ensure that. I have always handled internal problems myself, so of course when I received information about cultists hiding out in the lower decks, I took the matter in hand. So as long as I live, I'm not one of the vermin who murdered Theodore von Vinicius, whatever, will find refuge on our ship. You were far too heavy-handed, we're Siren. Arrest? What are you doing, cat? Arrests, interrogations, mass punishments for entire sectors is driven the people to the brink, Vince says bitterly. Now there is a strike on the lower decks, in Depot 4 to be precise. 3 worker clans are involved, but many are passively supporting them. Sorry, the cat's in the way. It likes the mouse. Or the cursor. Now I can't see it at all. Damn you, cat. Damn you, cat. Come on, baby. Come to Papa. There you are. 3 worker clans are involved, but many more are passively supporting them. The situation could degenerate into an all-out insurrection, but when I reported my concerns, the only response I received was an order to dispatch an assault unit and crush the strike with maximum force. Abelard, what do you have to say about all this? I see no need to add anything. I acted with the remnant of my authority, guided exclusively by the best interests of your protectorate and your personal safety. If you wish to confirm the rectitude of my actions for yourself, I have no objections. What is Depot 4? Depot 4 is one of the poorest sectors on the lower decks. It is home to the clans of general laborers. They are not as valuable to the ship as the families who have served as specialized systems for generations. They are easily replaceable resource, and one which is now more besides giving secure to cultists and minions of the archenemy. Master-at-Arms, ships, and forces report to you, and yet you seem hesitant to provide your own perspective. I'm interested by this person. Jocasta. Lord Captain, unlike Lieutenant Vent, I have respect for the chain of command and realize that it is not within my right to challenge my superiors. Sourback bows her head in Ablar's direction. However, a moment later, a serpentine smile appears on her lips. That being said, while I entirely share Master Warren's opinion on the fate of Depot 4 deserves, I must note that the insubordination is a direct consequence of the practices that he himself introduced. Mistress Sourback, I see you have decided to follow the Lieutenant's example after all. Such behavior does you no credit. Sourback, explain yourself. The ship's regulations state that the Master-at-Arms is responsible for not resolving all matters related to the ship's enforcers, and yet it is no secret that Sentinel has a tendency to show partility. Those enforcers and officers whom he is deemed particularly promising are at times given permission to approach him for tutelage. I cannot deny Master Warrison's experience, insight. The Sensual has a record of fostering students who have indeed achieved much and demonstrated impeccable performance. However, extending such patronage over the head of their immediate superior encourages a disregard for a hierarchy among your lordship's servants. Today, an enforcer goes to the Sensual to report an order from the Master-at-Arms that they happen to agree with. Tomorrow they will go to the Lord Captain to object to the Sensual's order. I notice a pattern in these actions. Abelard, would you wish to respond? Mistress Sourback, can you recall an occasion where I would encourage an officer to disobey their superior, or one where I would overrule their order, or show favoritism to those merited to none? None, Sensual. For there have been no such cases in the entire time I've served aboard this ship. If anyone were to claim otherwise, I would have them pay for insulting your honor with blood. Your conduct in this regard has always been spotless. Nevertheless, given your eminent position, a simple show of attention on your part is enough to erode the propriety of junior officers, inflate their sense of self-importance, and undermine discipline. Lieutenant Vent, would you say I can't say that word, dude. Seneschal has singled you out from the peers anyway. Lord Captain, I swear the Sensual Warrison has never granted me privileges, never once advocated for me, nor facilitated my promotion, although he is the man who convinced me to become an officer in the first place. He has offered me extensive guidance in my service, for which I am grateful for him. While I'm not my fellows receive such attention, I know of at least a dozen fine officers who Shinsul keeps in his sights to ensure they continue to serve. To prepare new generations of the dynasty's servants, to instruct them and separate those who who exhausted it, that is my duty as Sensual. The ship has bays worth of pilots, enforcers, officers, technicians, and stewards who have raised personally, whom I've raised personally. By the throne, every third person standing on this bridge right now is a student at one of my students at one point. I see. Evidently, my officers are anything but a shining example of unity and adherence today. I have only myself to blame, I suppose. I've heard enough. I will go down the lower decks and deal with the problem personally. Praise the Emperor. She cannot contain her relief. Thank you, Lord Captain. Alberlard grits his teeth slightly. An enterprise bordering on the sophomoric, but please yourself, Lord Captain. However, I categorically insist that I escort you. Lord Captain, I regret the enforcers were unable to handle the situation, which led to your and the Central's involvement. I considered it my duty to go to Depot for myself and see expedient resolution of this incident. Sorry guys, I'm trying. These are big words. I won't lie, my little southern head can't do it. Oh, Kibaliah's already here. Awesome. Oh, I got a level up too.
They say I have a magnetic personality. That certainly explains why I keep attracting trouble.
I hate you for that comment. Okay. Whenever an ally uses heroic act, that ally gains temporary wounds equal to 10% of their maximum wounds. 6. I'm not gonna read them. Okay. I'm going with that. Okay. What are you doing, kitty? Hold on, I gotta get a snack. Thought I was done. I'm not.
Let's see this through.
One second. Okay, almost done. Abelard. Abelard reflexively wipes the sweat from his brow in a startlingly human gesture, or a telling one. A rare moment where he allows his age and weariness to show through his armor like veneer of self-assurance. The lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I dearly regret that we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. Did you hear? They were shouting your name. Of course they are. The organization of the daily routine life of the ship rests upon my shoulders. The mountain of challenges and problems from what I endeavor to insulate you, Lord Captain. The situation on the lower decks has been causing concern. I have intervened personally on more than one occasion. That must be why they remember me. They do not know your face. To them, you are akin to a creature of legend, one who stood on the steps of a golden throne. No less. Whereas I'm the man whose name is attached to every order, docking rations or lowering the base heating. People dare to disrespect the senior officer. They would not have chance to express such disrespect if we were not here. If the situation had been dealt with the relevant officers, Abilene grimaces. It is a junior officer's worst failing to pass problems up the chain of command. I have never been able to abide it. I shall say it again. It was a mistake to come down here, Lieutenant Vince. When, Lord Captain. I must admit the lieutenant is by no means the worst material for an officer. But by the name of Tara, the girl is at the same age as my eldest granddaughter. And she has the gall to tell me how to manage the lower decks and hunt down cultists. It'll be another 20 years at least before she can be trusted to act without oversight. Let's keep moving. We need to get to the bottom of this.
Onward to victory. All souls cry out for salvation.
still do not see our purpose in coming here.
On the lower decks every once in a while is good for you. Lets you see how the simple folk live.
The sounds of a heated discussion reverberate through the ship's select bays. Lieutenant Alvarado Vent of the ship's enforcers, barring the path of her superior, Master-at-Arms Jocasta Sauerback, who's arrived clad in armor. Judging by their expressions and tone, the standoff has dragged on for some time already. Now has reached a boiling point. Lieutenant Vent, my patient is wearing thin. I have given you an order, and I'll get out of my way. I cannot comply with this order, ma'am. Finn looks shaken, but there's fire in his eyes. This is my deck and my sector. So long as this area remains under the Lord Captain's special oversight, no action can be taken without my express permission. There are only 3 people who are authorized to make me stand down. The first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. So not all my lessons fall on deaf ears. Adelar mutters in crabby approval. He does not clarify whether he means Fent, Sauerback looming over her, or both. Your lordship, noticing you, the 2 officers snap to attention and salute their subordinates, following a suit a moment later. What's the situation? Your lordship, my people have locked down the bay where the strikers are, including their leaders. We have the situation under control as far as the resources allow. Under control, Lieutenant. I came here to lead an investigative unit. And what do I see? The rabble is on the verge of mutiny. There's nothing to investigate. This simply calls for immediate repermissions in firing squads. Can you vent or step away from facing charges yourself? I want to speak to the strikers. Abelard's mouth twists, but he restrains himself and says nothing. Right you are, Lord Captain. Allow me to wish you good luck. Hope gleams in Lieutenant's eyes.
Stay sharp.
Dozen pairs of eyes stare apprehensively at you. The people before you are typically inhabitants of the lower decks. You take them in simple clothing, crude weapons, and faces that display varying levels of mutation, from the barely discernible to the strange, outright grotesque. A whisper passes through the crowd and you detect a mixture of fear, astonishment, and joy in reactions. Finally, 3 people break away from the crowd. An elderly woman, and 2 men. There must be leaders. They bow clumsily before you. Lord Captain, you have came down to us. Tell me what is troubling you. Why are you striking? Striking? That's news to us, your lordship, says the tall, thin man in worker's garb. All we're doing is asking questions, saying what we think. Shut up, Rivet, snaps the old woman and turns her hostility dark eyes on you. Here's the deal, your lordship. Your damned enforcers are all over us down here. They say they're looking for the cultists. One wrong word and they're reaching for their batons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heating to the whole base for a week at a time, so we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones die from inflammation in their lungs, all because of those enforcers. The old woman spits on the floor and rubs her spittle with the toe of a worn-out shoe. Argentina does not interrupt the workers, but you see the sadness well in her eyes when the children's deaths are mentioned. She quietly whispers a requiem prayer and makes a sign over herself. It's all true. Vent is the only enforcer officer who stood up for us. It's clear as day who had a mother from the lower decks and who grew up in midships and has no fellow feeling towards us. The grim man with a scarred face shows up, throws his arms up. Your lordship, we're no villains here. We're honest workers, your servants. We've plotted no disorder, we went on a strike openly, and now we got guns pointed at us. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. Persecution started at promotion. Okay. Abelard, do you have anything to add? I authorize the use of all necessary measures to locate Chaos worshippers hiding in this sector. The specific steps taken by the officer were not reported to me. Abelard frowns, clearly looking disgruntled at having to explain himself in the workers' presence. Nevertheless, I'm certain that their actions were justified. Cultists are no drunken stevedores. They are the enemy and threat to the ship. Neutralizing them demands decision action. Sourback, was it necessarily to torture these people with cold? The rabble understands only one language, Lord Captain, that of violence. As per regulations, should the laborers persist in their unwillingness to cooperate, the next step is limiting air supply and cutting off water, which is almost certain to restore order. The peasants can grumble all they want, but in the end, they're the source of their own misery. All they have to do is bow their heads and fall in line, and the need for punitive measures will disappear. Or were we attacked on the way here? How do you explain that? Here's an explanation for you. The people have been pushed to the limit, and now they're lashing out, as if we don't know why these top-deck units are being sent down here, like that one there that the lieutenant won't let pass. Our clans are all inside the bay that's been sealed off, but the lower decks are big, and I'm sure there are some people who've just about had enough. We're getting it from all sides. The soldiers have encircled the ones who've risen up. A death squad has just arrived. It's no wonder folks are lashing out. 6 experience. Awareness test succeeded. Their words seem sincere to you. Their body language and glances trade between them reveal the news of attack that has shocked them. What changes do you want? Would you look at this? The exalted Lord Captain himself is asking us, Bill Shraz, what we want. Well, here's what we want. We want you to rein in your damned enforcers, to quit turning off the heat, and to stop battering everything that moves. No, that's not it. We want the enforcers gone from here. We want to be armed. Give us arms, and we'll govern ourselves. We'll defend ourselves if these cultists do not show their faces. I've been leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of these club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here. You've gone too far, old man. They'll never let the maggots on the lower decks live without the enforcers breathing down their necks. They probably even assist on enforcers on the upper decks too. As for weapons, what do we need them for? Before the first day's out, we'll have someone shooting the neighborhood out of stupidity or drunkenness. We don't need that. If the enforcers stop hassling us, that'll be enough. In return, we'll find the scavengers who robbed the cultist bodies, and we'll talk to them one lower deck to another. If there are any more of those damn amulets about, we'll hand them over to the enforcers ourselves. You speak for yourself and your clan, and I'll speak for me and mine. I don't want empty gestures. I want real change. They'll promise us the world now, but as soon as the Anointed One turns his back, these brutes will be on us even harder than before, all because we dared to speak out. The tall worker's eyes dart between the two arguing leaders. Every few seconds he opens his mouth as if planning to agree, but each time he falls silently, making a few vague noises of approval. Coercion, 100%. Spreading anarchy on the ship is the first step toward embracing chaos. Putting weapons in untrained hands would be even worse. What's more, the enforcers are needed to maintain oversight and order. Withdraw those demands and we'll consider the rest. tall worker they call Rivet shrugged and cast a sidelong look at the old woman. Old man, listen, listen. The old Lord Captain himself has come down to us and is offering concessions. Now, I don't know a single person in the whole depot floor who's ever stood next to the rogue trader, let alone talk to them. Back down now. Back down. Now's no time for you to be a stubborn old drone. Save an experience. Listen to us, old man. The three clans of Depot 4 ought to act as one. We've made our minds up. It's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to disband the enforcers or give us weapons. We don't need any of that. The old woman hisses in dissatisfaction. You two are ganging up on me, is that it? So brave against an old woman, but if I'll shut you up, I will indeed. I won't go against two clan leaders on my own. If you want to make peace with the enforcers, make your peace. That's great, just fantastic, Lord Captain. We're all agreed. Thoughts, Abelard? The story, going scavenging for boots and accidentally picking up a heretical amulet doesn't convince me. These people were moments from rebelling and possibly becoming minions of the archenemy. We must not give them what they want. Even if they did not acquire something innocently, purely out of their own stupidity, it does not mean that they're tainted with corruption. Master at Arms, what do you stand? Give the rabble a grox and they'll take an aggro world, Lord Captain. They only understand brute force and will interpret any concession as a sign of weakness. Give them weapons and recalling the enforcers would be folly. It'd only be a matter of time before we had a full-scale mutiny on our hands. Then it's decided that the persecution will stop. And I would expect you to assist in locating any remaining amulets or weapons left by the cultists. Removed cargo, fuel, provisions. Your lordship, thank you. We have not abandoned us lower deckers. You came yourself and settled everything. I'll tell my grandchildren about this. Of course, your lordship. We'll root our nasty business faster than you'll root out any nasty business faster than the enforcers, and we'll leave no stone unturned. Okay. That was a lot of talking, dude.
This ocular implant was a worthwhile investment.
Goods. Alright, multi-key. Oh.
Now that was easy.
Okay, are we done here? Oh, okay. It's done already. How did we get here?
Marching ahead.
Here we go. Now. Up here. Yeah. Going backwards now. Because I'm the backwards man. I can go as backwards as you can. Fast as you can. I don't know how it goes. It's close enough.
Let's see this through.
Goods. How the fuck do I get out of here? There we go. That's cool. don't know how to get out of here. Oh, there.
Onward to
No.
victory.
Okay. Now I'm in darkness. Okay. It's not good. It's like a goddamn puzzle.
Stay sharp.
Why don't you make the damn doors look different at least? Or elevators glow or something. There we go. Stopping unexpectedly, Abelard imperiously dismisses the unit to stand at the distance and addresses your companion, saying, I have an urgent matter to discuss with Lord Captain. Please give us a moment. Abelard looks at you, and the last vestiges of restraint vanish. Well, are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You kowtowed to the disloyal rabble. You believed their lies and showed them leniency. Next time the ship is attacked by cultists, that rabble will welcome them in open arms and allow them to wreak havoc, whatever havoc they like, because they see you as a weak leader. Is that how you see the future of the helm of von Valancia's protectorate? Do not speak to your Lord Captain at that time. I'm obligated to speak thus. Who else can point out your errors and offer you counsel? Let's talk about your role in this instead. You allowed this revolt to happen. Your actions practically guaranteed it would. I would have handled the situation myself had you not decided to intervene. Abelard says irascibly. Remember, Lord Captain Theodora. Do you think she ever set one slippered foot on the lower decks? No, she did not. Such matters were left to myself and the junior officers, while she dedicated herself to grand designs for the Protectorate, as any true strategist and rogue trader ought. Maybe if Theodora spent more time on trifling matters, she wouldn't have wound up dead. There's a new Lord Captain aboard this ship now, and I will not repeat her mistake. Abelard looks at you stunned and exhales loudly, then he nods curdily. I commend your decisiveness, but I am uncomfortable with introducing new protocols in the midst of a crisis. And Abelard stands straight at attention. I'll lose my temper, Lord Captain. I believe I ought to explain myself. So much writing. Abelard speaks slowly, and that the words not coming easily to him. The prosperity of the von Valancia's Protectorate is not an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for the chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw the Lord Captain Theodora's deeds, the sign of true greatness of rogue traders. Do not simply forge new routes and capture worlds. They create order out of anarchy. They create impulse. Their creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military. So I left behind everything I had known, everything my family had known. I come from a long line of officers. I embarked upon this incredibly reckless venture, Lord Captain. Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with all the concerns she had no time for. She would go off on her flagship for long periods to distant frontiers, on scouting voyages, and the advancement of the entire Protectorate rested on my shoulders. And then suddenly, everything had been built over the years and years began to quake, rattling a flimsy hanger on a seismically active world. Oh my God. Oh, okay. One of the senior officers betrayed us all, Rogue Trader. The Rogue Trader was killed, and who knows what is happening on the planets. I tell you this honestly, without fear of appearing weak. All this has come as a grievous blow to me. I'm not panicking or grieving because I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I'm duty bound to aid the new Rogue Trader, to aid you to find out to find your footing as quickly as possible. And to do that, I must insulate you from problems that in the past have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures to set out the ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed excess to requirements. The prosperity of the Von Valancius Protectorate is just as important to me. You are the only person who has comprehensible knowledge of how things are run on this ship. I think in the future I will follow your recommendations. Abelard dips his head in sign of assent, the shadow of incredible strain which evidently had been wearing on him for some time finally lifts from his face. I'm glad you see the value and foundations laid down by your illustrious predecessor. Why fix what wasn't broken? As for me, I shall endeavor not to cause you any further consternation, Lord Captain. And now, please, let us lower the decks. If the Rogue Trader desires to stretch his legs, they are in more suitable places.
Venture forth.
Alright, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, everybody. I shall return. Okay, we're back. So, we got the rabble under control. Go to the Expanse map. Continue to our journey to the other world where we get another companion. As the ship makes its way through the star system, a strange fatigue falls over you. Your eyelids grow heavy, and your quail you've been using to drop yet another order falls from your hand. You raise your head with a start. Someone else is here in your study. You stand up and stare at the dozens upon dozens of corpses surrounding you. Among the number, you recognize the disfigured and bloody faces of those who've died on the ship's bridge and those you met in your previous life. How is this possible? Where are the enforcers posted at the stand guard? It matters not. You are alone against a horde of heretics risen from the darkness to take your life. As at its own accord, the shard lying in the edge of the desk, the sole remnant of Conrad Vorkvir's weapon slips into your hand. The metal is searing cold. The dead sway from side to side, closing in around you in a nightmarishly slow advance. Step back or else. Kneel before the rogue trader. Your lives belong to me. All you hear in response is unintelligible voices, whispers, moans, and derisive laughter. Anger ignites your chest and you clutch the shard, which ravenously bites into your palm with its sharp edge. An unbearable bright light floods everything around, and you find yourself surrounded by groveling minions, their bodies shivering in mere presence. Your hands no longer hold a pitiful shard, but a majestic and intricate weapon, a skillfully crafted sword with strange, unnerving proportions, a curved design, an unusual hilt adorned with the image of a closed eye. The eyes open wide, revealing a gaze so ancient and dark that it steals your breath away. You have felt this gaze before, there on the bridge. The voice that appears in your mind only confirms your guess. The tapestry is woven. The path is chosen. Accept your fate, champion. I am the sword's master, not its servant. Remember that. You feel the sword's immense weight pulling you down. You resist its will for a moment longer before collapsing to the ground to the sound of odious laughter. The strain is such that you fear your back would break at any moment. Vogue, the first dawn, is hereby woven into the tapestry of your fate. Seek the second dawn in the hands of she who rises above its future dominion. The former aspirant fell, and thus the new one will become the chosen of the Weaver of Destinies. Make mortals serve you as their god, and become the vessel at the edge. You awoken from the vision kneeling next to your desk, clothes drenched in sweat and a sour taste in your tongue. Your head is ringing and you struggle to recall those faces and image of the sword in your hand. The deep cut in your palm and bloodied shard lying on the floor remind you of what just transpired. A foreign presence rises up out of the deepest, darkest recesses of your mind. The cut on your hand burns like acid, and an alien consciousness comes into your head, greets the pain with a discordant wave of barely unintelligible voices. Heretical, pick up the shard. Dogmatic, get rid of the shard. Get rid of the shard. You'd rather die than touch that thing again, so you reach a shaking hand for your fox and call for a servitor. You now must wait for the mindless automaton to arrive, pick up the cursed artifact, and head for the nearest airlock to be claimed by the void. Items lost: blade shard, dogmatic +3. We also have that sword, I think. Oh wait. Oh. Let's give him the silent verdict. Goods. Cat's going crazy, man. The soothing water caresses your senses, and your grateful muscles welcome the chance to rest. A pleasant languor spreads through your body as you allow yourself a moment of quiet relaxation. Address the master appellations. I wish to see someone from my retinue. Cassia. What is he gonna do, dude? Lord Copman, it is improper for us to be conversing in your bath chamber. I cannot believe you wish me to paint a picture of you disrobed. I cannot. It is scandalous. This goes beyond every standard of decency. Here we go, baby. Persuasion. Consider it an opportunity to practice life drawing. Well, you are certainly an interesting model. Oh. 7 experience. I've never painted people before, but I'm willing to try if you insist. Nude portrait of the road trader. Alright, Cassie picks up the brush. The two of you spend the next half hour engaged in small talk, and her awkwardness soon gives way to an intense focus on as she becomes immersed in the art. This painting, it may not be what you had in mind, still this is how I see you in your colors. The canvas is a whirlwind of brightly colored paints. The outline of the human figure is suggested through broad, colorful strokes and fluid shapes. You'd be hard-pressed to call it a portrait, but the series of abstract images and impressions do vaguely resemble your form. Your style is so unique, I like it. Cassia's cheeks turn pink and you feel flush with embarrassment. You were most gracious. It would be a pleasure to paint like this again sometime, though perhaps in a more traditional environment. Address the enforcers. You two, get in here. I require company and pleasant conversation. The enforcers exchange puzzled glances. Do you mean us, your lordship? There's no need to be shy. Relax with me for a moment. Orders received, your lordship. We will commence relaxation immediately. The enforcers are lean and muscular. They sit down awkwardly in the bathtub, clearly fighting the urge to stand at attention. What would you like to talk about, your lordship? We await your orders. You seem tense. Your orders to enjoy some of this food and amnesiac. The enforcers are barely able to conceal their excitement as they shove delicious delicacies into their mouths, washed down with obscenely expensive drinks. They have never experienced anything like this before and will likely never will again. It is a feast they will not soon forget, a story they will tell their grandchildren one someday. Do you have any responsibilities besides guarding these chambers? For hundreds of years, our clan is responsible for ensuring the rogue trader's safety during times of leisure and relaxation. The enforcer's voice is filled with pride. I guard the bath chamber as my grandmother did before me. She trained me herself and instructed me in my duties. This bath chamber can be more dangerous than a battlefield sometimes. You can slip on a wet tile, you can choke or drown. If the water is too hot, you can burn yourself. If it's too cold, you can freeze. There have been cases where angry machine spirits have released sparks in the fury in the water, and of course, there have been numerous assassination attempts, and the woman stopped abruptly at the other enforcer's volley cleared his throat. It is reassuring to know my enforcers are prepared for anything. We live to serve your lordship. We'll keep you safe. I wish to be fed. It will be done. The woman reverently places slices of exotic fruits and rich-smelling cheeses into your mouth, and the man brings a cup of amnesiac to your lips to wash it all down. They do everything for you except chew and swallow, but you suspect if you were giving them the order, they would find a way to do that for you as well. What do enforcers do in their free time? We were off duty. We train, maintain our equipment, and pray at regulation-approved intervals. If we do some time to ourselves, we might play some Tantalo. The brand over here carves things out of soap scraps. She nods at her partner. Though for the most part, we barely get enough time for rest, let alone leisure. Pass Bran a piece of soap and a knife. I demand a demonstration, Bran. The enforcer looks slightly frustrated, but he quickly gets to work. After a little while, he presents you with a bust of the Emperor about half the size of your palm. The Emperor's visage has been recreated with incredible precision and attention to detail. The small carving surpasses the work of a mini sculptor. I'll have it placed in my study. The enforcer is speechless with amazement, his eyes shining with pride. I am not worthy of such honor. Thank you, your lordship. You may relax with me here until I'm finished bathing. We would have considered a great honor, your lordship, but please do not tell the Master-at-Arms we joined your ablutions. Mr. Salbeck will beat us bloody if he finds out. If she finds out. Okay. Troubles, worries, loss, such things do not belong in the newly established dominion of tranquility. They are only the infinity waters of weightlessness in which, strapped of all things superficial, the mind of Pop Tabs, Von Valancius, drifts in the silent bliss. And consciousness mind, what fills the consciousness? Oh. Dogmatic, thoughts of monumental duty to the Emperor. Such a duty can be only fulfilled through service and death, for such is the price of humanity's victory in the everlasting war. Iconoclast, thoughts of those who keep him afloat in these waters, who will drown and who will manage to pull to the surface. Heretical, thoughts about the price paid for power, the inconsistent paths through which such power is obtained, and the people and things he will sacrifice for the sake of supremacy. Dogmatic. The sacrifice of many paves the way to the way to triumphant future for the Titan that is protector of the Imperium. It is a heavy burden to be the ground beneath his feet, but it is glorious to serve such a righteous purpose and unity. This moment of serenity soon fades. The body reclaims the mind, binding it once more the familiar shell of flesh, sinew, and bone. You feel revitalized. This was truly an experience worthy of a rogue trader. Starport greets you with a din of ordnance and the smell of explosives tickle your nostrils. It's difficult to tell through the smoke who is firing at whom. Where'd my cigarette go? Oh, son of a bitch. Halt, weapons on the ground or I'm firing. Man in a torn and dirty uniform hobbles towards you from behind the chunks of rockcrete and crumpled plasteel. He cracked his helmet adorned with a crooked label that reads Sergeant Malgar. Alright, so our skies are in lockdown, the rebels are shooting down anything that flies, and you just happen to land in our rear without a scratch to show for it, and on a shuttle like that? Where'd you get it? Stolen from the palace, isn't it? He's visibly awed at the resplendent gold of your transport. Grab him as we've got ourselves a rebel landing force. Abelard turns purple. By the Holy Throne, what is this mess? Adderad glances around. They're in a rough spot, old man. Go easy on them. Give me a status report this instance. With a mixture of awe and terror, he snaps at attention, raises his freshly cut chin, and exemplary soldier embarks. My mistake, sir, at once. The starport is under the control of governors, wardens, parameters, commanders, sergeant. A frag grenade explodes, cut off the sergeant's words. Shrapnel flies everywhere with a piercing screech. One of the soldiers falls to the ground, clutching at the remains of his forearm that is now adorned with crimson tatters. Blood is pouring out of the stump, and the soldier's agony is short-lived. The sergeant curses and hastily says an army prayer for the dead. With a rasping cough, the sergeant turns back to you. Pardon me, sir. Sergeant, last Malagar reporting. My unit is holding the starport on the governor's orders. How may I serve? Do you happen to know if the member of the Inquisition has come here? At the word Inquisition, the sergeant's face fills with awe. I don't know, sir. There's definitely haven't been any visitors like that on my watch. You might have to inquire the headquarters, your lordship, sir. What's going on here? Unrest, sir. Armed rebellions in both capital and provinces. First the lower levels sparked, then it went up spires. They hit the box hubs, the arsenals, the mag train stations. Then Volk tore off his mask precisely because he knew what about the trouble in the Reich and Moraz. He knew that none of our allies would come to our aid. Castle was a sorrowful sigh. You may continue, report, peasant. My unit was here when it all went to Grox's. The tech priest linked to the satellites reported surges of strange void ships in the system. They were orbiting the star until one of them set course for landing on Reich Majoris. The governor took precautionary measures and ordered to increase security at the key facilities. Everyone knows that whenever something's not right, you better double the warden details. The alarm raised and we were sent to secure Starport. It's the only reason we were able to hold it. They're crushing us, the scumbags. It's been a whole turn since the last reinforcements came in. We're running low on ammo. Every other fighter is wounded, and I don't know how bad it is in the streets, but they'll drive us out here any minute. What caused this rebellion? Ill thoughts, sir. We've fallen on hard times, the grounds keep shaking, things keep exploding, the people are scared. They've forgotten all about our duty, and that's when those Emperor forgive me preachers came. They started riling up everyone. Sure enough, we shot a few, but they kept coming, more and more of them. Pat him on the shoulder. You're doing fine work, Malgar. So are your troops. It's people like you that hold the Imperium together. I live to serve. Okay, sorry, just had to fast forward that. I gotta smoke. Give me a break here. The sergeant shakes his head in disappointment. Ah, if only Sergeant Duvian of the Tertium was here. He may have completely lost his marbles if he'd let him accompany you. You could have walked all the way to the governor's palace without any harm befalling you. Who's that? One of ours, a veteran. No idea how he wound up here. The man's from Atoma Prime, the other end of the galaxy. Solid chap, crazy eyes, but you should see him slay enemies on humanity. There's none like him. The sergeant cast a glance somewhere past the starport. When it started, he went missing out of the streets somewhere. Worse news for the rebels, though. He's an absolute beast in close quarters combat. What tech priest? A very important person from the Adeptus Mechanicus arrived on the last shuttle before they locked down the sky. He kept on asking whether anyone by the name of Marinette or something like that had recently arrived. Barely answered any of our questions though. Said he was under no obligation to tell us anything. He debated to talk to the governor personally, so I had to send a quarter of my troops with him to keep trouble at bay. You're a good soldier, Malgar. I'll see your heroism is noted. Heroism. Sergeant blushed just slightly. I live to serve. Another explosion interrupts the sergeant's words. With a sigh of relief, he turns to his soldiers and spits out a booming series of commands. Okay.
Let's seize the moment.
So,
It was a mistake.
Crush them.
Voice of Command is the officer ability that increases an ally's characteristics for 1 round. And also allows the officer to use their officer archetype abilities on that ally from that distance. The higher officer's fellowship bonus is the more the target characteristics are increased. Okay. An officer can use Voice of Command again on the same ally after 2 rounds have passed since its first application. Bring it down. An officer ability that lets them immediately grant an extra turn. Okay, I got that one.
Let's get to it. Let's make it quick.
Show me what you've got.
Just a minor setback.
Hold on.
Hey, clears the body.
Here we go.
As said, so that is how it's done. They won't expect this. Let's set this in motion.
Follow my lead. Out of my way. Let's get to it.
As the tenets demand. The shadow's killing brings me no pleasure. As honor ordains. Death is a blessing. This goes against the tenets.
Let's get to it.
Brace yourself.
Let's get through it.
I feel nothing. Fear nothing.
I am a navigator. Try to die with grace, at least. Do not dare ask. Ha! That is foolishness. I'm afraid not.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. Doubt is for the weak. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. As the Emperor commands, I act. The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. I'll do it.
Damn.
Be a martyr.
Not a good start.
My place is at the fore. I will do my duty. I took care of this one. Victory is imminent.
Okay. She can't move.
Time to slaughter someone. I'm not injured. I'm enraged.
Weapon at the ready. Here we go.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
High momentum.
Step aside. The navigator is coming.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart.
At your back and reduced to dust. That's not the Seneschal's job. I'd rather not. Someone else can do this. It will be done.
I know what is to come.
I know what to do. Costly mistake.
2 for 1, baby.
Follow my lead.
I have read tomes of military tactics.
Rejoice in battle! Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it.
Damn.
At your beck and call.
Are you a traitor or a fool?
Son of a bitch. Didn't
I'm not
need to-
interested. I will do my duty.
Cover me!
Not doing too good in combat.
Break their morale.
If I may,
Guided by faith. Doubt is for the weak.
Missed everyone. Don't miss this sword.
Indeed.
Whisper and be heard.
Onward to victory.
Oh. Well, on that note, I think it's a safe call to call it a night. It's 2 a.m. here, so. How do I
Let's
select
see this through.
everybody?
What torments you? Blood is my life. Death is my duty.
So I'm going to do a quick save here. Thank you for watching. And as always, I hope you enjoyed your stay. Well, as I always say, save those pop tabs and send them to me. Have a good night. Goodbye.